You shouldn't let weak leaders anywhere near a hiring decision because they just make your capability problem worse. A weak leader is someone who rates 7 out of 10 or less. They're weak in terms of their results, their attitude, their capability, their confidence, and of course their motivation. Welcome to Moments with Marty, your short, sharp shot of leadership insight to help you stay on track between our weekly episodes of the No Bullshit Leadership podcast. Hiring really good people has always been hard. Not only is there serious competition for talent in most industries, but there's also a number of limitations that you may experience through no fault of your own. Your geographical footprint, your industry, and the public perception of your brand. These may all play a part in who you're able to attract. But even when you do get the right people to turn up at your front door, there are factors at play that may prevent you from achieving the best outcome. Some of the most common problems that plague hiring managers are things like hiring for skills and not understanding team and culture fit, hiring in your own image, in other words, the people who most resemble your own experiences, values, and behaviours, allowing optimism bias to cloud your judgment, failing to represent the opportunity of the role accurately and honestly, not doing your due diligence, and not understanding the 7s hire 5s principle. The last one is particularly common. It's an expression that Jeffrey J. Fox popularised in his superb book, How to Become a Great Boss. You shouldn't let weak leaders anywhere near a hiring decision because they just make your capability problem worse. A weak leader is someone who rates 7 out of 10 or less. They're weak in terms of their results, their attitude, their capability, their confidence, and of course their motivation. 7s hire 5s, but why? Because 5s aren't threatening, they're cheap and they're plentiful. 7s are actually frightened of 9s and 10s because they instinctively fear competence. 7s hire 5s and 5s hire 3s, and guess who 3s hire? There goes your capability. In contrast, 9s and 10s only want to hire 10s. They only want to work with other A players. They don't fear competence, they fear mediocrity. So don't let poor performing leaders replicate themselves and weaken the gene pool. Keep them as far away from hiring decisions as you possibly can. So, let's assume you're getting the right candidates in front of the competent hiring manager. Now what? The process of hiring for any role within your company, but particularly a leadership role, has to be conducted with the same diligence, patience, and sophistication that you would use for the most important strategic or financial problems. Take it seriously. There are a number of different tools that you can use to calibrate and confirm what you think you've seen at the interview. Now, at more senior levels, everyone talks a good game. So it's really important to approach every data point with a healthy level of skepticism. You've got to sort out the dogs from the fleas. So, of course, go through the usual process of resume filtering and interviews, but pay particular attention to resumes that demonstrate a series of very short stints. Anything less than a year in one organisation can be a red flag despite an individual's carefully constructed cover story. Then again, a series of promotions inside the same organisation can be a really positive sign. Management was moving them up quickly so they could have a greater impact. Be really diligent in your reference checking, if possible, using a wide array of formal and informal checks. Look as hard as you can to find someone who'll tell you the truth about your potential hire's performance, especially any showstoppers they might be hiding. I also used a series of psychometric and aptitude testing, particularly for more senior roles. Now, it's not the be-all and end-all, but it's another data point that helps you calibrate the overall picture. With the most senior roles, I'd pay particular attention to critical thinking and abstract reasoning skills. These are the best indicators of a person's ability for handling complex problems logically and effectively. Hiring is tough, and you live with the outcomes for many years, so it should be a core competence and focus for any leader who's trying to build a high-performing team. If you want to take a deeper dive on how to build a better talent pipeline, have a listen to episode 237 of the No Bullshit Leadership podcast, Hiring Better People. We'll leave a link in the show notes. I really hope you enjoyed this moment and that it gives you that extra little spark to be a no bullshit leader.